Women after 40 need to hear this. If you've ever looked at your child, your partner, or even people around you and thought, why do they treat me like this? After everything I've done for them, this is going to be hard to hear. But it's going to set you free. Because most women didn't lose respect. They slowly taught people how to bypass them. And it didn't come from weakness. It came from love, mixed with overfunctioning. And this is where everything starts to shift, because once you understand and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let's start here. Respect is not built on love. It's built on boundaries plus consistency. Psychologically, respect forms through something called behavioral conditioning. People learn what gets a response, what gets tolerated, and what has consequences. So over time, the brain adapts. It says, this is what's allowed here. And that's what we've been teaching our kids. All the love in the world cannot bring in respect. People don't guess how to treat you. They learn. Now, let's bring overfunctioning in, right? So what does all of this have to do with overfunctioning? Well, when you overfunction, you fix things before they break. You step in before someone struggles. You absorb emotional tension before it escalates. So what does the other person learn? I don't have to step up. She'll handle it. There's no real consequence here because she's going to fix it. You didn't teach them to respect you. You taught them you'll carry it. So whatever it is, they just kind of dump it on you. Not because they don't love you, but because this is what they learned through your behavior. And it's really hard to imagine this, but if you're here, it's because you see it. And let's make this real. Your child forgets homework. You remind them. You fix it. You send an email to the teacher. And over time, you know what they learn? Mom will catch it. If I don't get it done, mom's going to fix it. She's going to talk to the teacher. So when they ignore you later, that's not rebellion. That was conditioning, because whether or not they do it, they know in their mind, they've learned that you're going to fix it. Another example is your partner forgets bills, responsibilities, or emotional presence. You remind them, you manage it, you adjust, you compensate. Over time, they learn she'll take care of it. So when they don't show up emotionally for you, they're not confused. They are not confused. That's a learned dynamic. They just learned that no matter what, you are going to take care of it. And a lot of times this feels like disrespect, but disrespect doesn't always come from intention. It comes from repetition. And this is where it gets emotional, because this hurts when someone disrespects you, because you didn't do this to be taken advantage of. You didn't step in and overfunction so people can use you. You did it because you care, you love deeply, you wanted things to run smoothly. You were looking for security and safety, but here's the truth most women don't hear. Overfunctioning removes the needs for others to function. Plain and simple. Overgiving doesn't create appreciation. It removes responsibility. If they know that you will always be there to give, why do they need to be responsible for ensuring that they have what they need? And then one day you stop or you slow down and you say, that's enough. I can't do this anymore, right? And suddenly people get frustrated. People push back. People act like you changed. And at this point, you start questioning yourself. You start saying, maybe I did change. Am I doing something wrong? Am I being mean? Because the moment you stop overfunctioning is the moment we have a revelation of the truth of what's been happening. Let's bring this back to motherhood, because this is where it matters most here. When your children are raised in an over-functioning environment, they often become emotionally dependent, easily frustrated, resistant to responsibility, not because they're disrespectful at the core, but because they were never required to regulate themselves. You did all the regulating. You regulated the homework. You regulated anytime they forgot something. There were no consequences. You fixed it. Children don't rise to your love. They rise to your boundaries. And that is the hard truth, ladies. That is the hard truth. So, what is the shift that we need to make? It's not anger, it's not punishment, and it's not trying to control. It's regulation. You need to regulate how much you're giving. You begin by stepping back, allowing other people to feel uncomfortable, letting people solve their own problems, allowing them to think that you change and being okay with that. And most importantly, you want to hold your boundary without explaining it 10 times, because explaining your boundary will only make them disrespect you more. You heard me. Explaining your boundary will only make them disrespect you more, because when you have to explain it over and over and over again, they feel like maybe they can exhaust you into stepping back into the overgiving role. A boundary is not what you say. It's what you stop doing. There has to be an action behind the boundary. And let me ask you something. Where are you overfunctioning right now? Is it with your child, your partner? Is it with your family? And what would happen if you stopped just a little? Drop it in the comments and let me know, because I think this is where awareness turns into change, because most of us are scared of stopping because we know that we will get the pushback. I want you to understand that this is not about blame, because you didn't create disrespect on purpose, but you can change the pattern on purpose because now you recognize it. You're aware. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And the hard truth is that you will know that you were overfunctioning by the way people react when you pull back. If people react with frustration, that is information. That is your cue that you have been overfunctioning because they got used to it. This is also not about becoming hard. It's about becoming clear and being intentional. And this is the part nobody talks about.